Now that our engines are... We have with us today a very esteemed guest, being a former sportsman himself and having always had sports close to his heart. This speaker has had a long history of involvement in the administration of sports. To name just a few, it ranges from taekwondo, cricket, squash, the Commonwealth Games Federation, the Southeast Asian Games Federation, and the International Council of Arbitration for Sport. This speaker is presently the President of the Olympic Council of Malaysia, a board member of the National Sports Council of Malaysia, an Executive Council member of the Association of National Olympic Committees, and a member of the Advisory Board of the Olympic Council of Asia and the International Olympic Committee. Please join me to welcome His Royal Highness Tunku Imran.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for RWY for inviting me to this third conference on sports law. And I have tried to attend previously, but I was away. And suddenly I find myself wanting to come, and he's forced me to give a keynote address. I think really the minister gave a really wonderful keynote address early this morning. He cleared up a lot of things which were unclear for us in the sports administration, and it is refreshing that the minister himself is happy to give away some powers. As he said, ministers normally want to take more power, but this is one who understands that there is a need to give up power in certain areas. This morning, I wanted to just talk to you about two areas, really. One is the Olympic movement, because a lot of people in Malaysia, in the world actually, don't really understand what that means. They see every 4 years or every 2 years the Olympic Games, whether it's summer or winter. They don't understand who chooses the sports for these games and how those sports got on the, were chosen. All these squash players still cannot understand why squash isn't on the program, but then the water skiers will also feel that they should be on the program, and so. And then I just like to just make one or two comments on sports law and Malaysia and where it's going, but the minister did cover a lot of that, so this keynote address doesn't necessarily have to be so long. The Olympic movement was started in 1896 by Baron Pierre de Coubertin, a French nobleman. He had the view that there has to be a multi-sports games, and he agreed with all his counterparts, mainly in Europe. Yes, let's go back to where sport started, in the Olympics, and they basically formed the Olympic movement, or the International Olympic Committee, as it's called. I know a lot of people in Malaysia, they call it OIC, and I keep on saying, no, it's IOC. OIC is the Organization of Islamic Countries. And the IOC is very much so different. In Malaysia, the IOC, or the Olympic movement, has really three main pillars. One is the IOC itself, which is a body of 115 people, 115 individuals who form the IOC. These are the members. I'm one, and you're there not to represent your country, but to represent yourself. Now, out of the 115, 15 are from the ranks of national Olympic committees, of which the OCM, Olympic Council of Malaysia, is one. 15 come from the international federations. 15 comes from the athletes. And that basically is the ones that are institutional members or individually coming from those areas, and the rest are pure individuals. I actually am one of the ones of the 15 National Olympic Committee members. Then the other pillar, of course, is the international federations. The international federations are, the FIFAs, the IAAFs, etc. And then, of course, the third pillar is the National Olympic Committees, which I mentioned. In Malaysia and in the country, the National Olympic Committee is the organization that is affiliated to the IOC, and its constituents, its members, are the national federations. So Y.A.M, Badminton Association of Malaysia, FAM, SRAM, all these bodies are members of the the OCM. Funnily enough, the national federations are also the ones that elect the councils for the international federation, the international body. So Y.A.M would be instrumental and would actually have a say in the election of the council for the Badminton World Federation. So that goes on. So actually, the national federations are actually quite a influential and powerful group of people. Now, the parent body of a national federation is the international federation. So therefore, what is OCM to these national federations? We're not the parent body. That's the international federation. So we are, and someone called it an umbrella body for the national federations in Malaysia. But really, our jurisdiction is only when it concerns multi-sports games. So just like the minister was saying, we cannot discipline associations, if they transgress, unless it is as they transgress as part of the team or the contingent to a particular games. So again, we do not have such wide-ranging powers as many people think, and it's the same as the minister just now. When people say, "Well, can't you do anything about football losing, blah blah blah," or this or that association? We can't do very much about it because we also respect their autonomy. He's very correct, the minister, when he says that the IOC are very strict about the independence and autonomy of sports and national Olympic committees. Many have been suspended because governments have interfered. He mentioned Kuwait. Indonesia has been suspended previously. Pakistan has been suspended previously, and so it goes on. In fact, it's when the body is so strong, the IOC, that recently Kuwait was the host of a world shooting championships, but didn't allow the Israel representative, who's not only an official, to come into Kuwait. And because that happened, the IOC turned to the world shooting body and said, "Sorry, we cannot recognize this as a qualifying event for the Olympics." I mean, IOC can't sort of ban them or whatever, but they just said, "Sorry, we have to downgrade that event to not a qualifying event for the Olympics." So a lot of our shooters, unfortunately, had gone to Kuwait to try and qualify for the Olympics, and they came back, and although they did very well, they have to now find another qualifying event.